Okay, I'd like to open up the Public Works and Protection meeting on Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. Roll call, please.
Carrie Paul,
Here.
Jay Krieger,
Here.
Kelly Service,
Here.
John Burnett,
Here.
and Joanne Euclid. Here.
Okay, Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Item 4, action on the agenda. Any corrections or additions? If not, we'll obtain a motion.
To approve?
Second.
Move to.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Minutes from February 6, 2024. Any
Move to approve.
corrections? First,
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Comments from the public. Item A must be limited to the items not on the agenda, must state name and address. Limit to 5 minutes. Board rules to listen, not to discuss. Personal issues cannot be discussed or individuals named. Board it cannot take action at this meeting. Nobody up there on there. Okay, moving on. Whoop. Any of you guys on the agenda? Okay, move on. Item A, consider discussed act on permanent Class B beer license extension to the shop. I believe you are the lady there, Chris. Oh, can't hear you.
Nope.
Test.
Sorry about that. Okay, so the shop, the two gentlemen are here that, if you have any questions, what they're requesting is, right now they have a Class B beer and they have the back half of the building. The front half now, they're able to lease from the owner. So they would like the entire building now to have the Class B beer premise. So it would be a permanent. This isn't just for an event, it would be permanent. And this building is at 2740 Packerland Drive.
Everything in order here, or
Yes, they have everything in. Fees are paid, paperwork's in.
no problems with just the beer license?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, that's the old appliance store, if I correct. I went by there the other day. I couldn't understand why it was all cleaned up. That's good. That was good for curb view. All right, any questions here? Joanne, you okay?
Move to approve.
Okay, whoa.
Second.
First and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, boys, go to work. All right, item B, consider discuss act on permanent beer or Class B beer / B liquor license extension at Titletown. Chris, you're on again.
Okay, so Brad is here to speak if you have any questions. What this is Titletown is requesting a permanent Class B beer, Class B liquor license extension, a permanent one for Titletown, excluding the Child's Play area, Agility Zone, and the 40-yard dash. There's a map showing, what they are requesting, and just to give you a little insight, they're doing this already. And so what they're doing is making it official now, because they added these things and the license didn't come back with certain areas. So they're just making it official. And I did, in the packet, I put the current premise description and then what the proposed one would be. So they're still going to have the different color cups, but it's all the Delaware North or Sports Service liquor license. It's not anyone else. It's not, Lodge Kohler, it's not Hinterland. So they're going to still stick with the colored cups.
Okay, so in other words, it will be under Titletown then?
Will be just under them, and the different color cups has to do with the different entities that sell, or they'll do catering in one of their buildings. So then at least they know that if someone is overserved or there's an issue, that the color of the cup is where that person was served, but all under the same license.
Okay. Now, did this yellow portion that is marked out where it can be served, has that been extended from the previous license?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the question I have, the child area, how are they patrolling that?
That's fenced off.
That's fenced off.
And I believe there's security there, correct, Brad? If you want to go up, you can go up and speak.
Thank you for your time. That is a secured space, both perimetered in a permanent fence and then patrolled by the Titletown security staff.
Is that the ice rink? The ice rink area?
No, so what's on the map would be clearly stated as the playground, which is, also managed by weather. The ice rink itself obviously comes to us.
I'm looking at this wrong. Okay, I'm with you. Okay, all right.
So what have you been doing? I'm mostly concerned about the part to the west, the football field area, and then over there, the Titletown Flats area. You actually been selling beer in those areas? Or the plan is to do that?
Well, you've been serving that area for special events, haven't you, if I remember right?
Yeah, the essence of today is really to create clarity on Titletown Plaza, which was a kind of an ambiguous overall riding term to this, with the addition of what we call the grand staircase, not to the flats. That's not where we ever approach, but on the west side where the grand staircase was built out a couple years back. We now have approached that footprint. They've done some outdoor theaters there. They had another special event there that was a catered space. So the addition of the grand staircase is really where the extension of this license is looking to be discussed on this map. It was offering clarity based on conversations with Chris on what really was plaza and not plaza.
Okay. That get your answer there, Jay?
Yeah, I guess I'm just a little concerned with serving beer around that football field area because there's tons of kids on that football field area. It's not an adult area. It's almost all kids there. So but I get the challenge with that, but that is a concern because the football field is almost always covered with kids.
And that was one thing why we talked about this, because they might not be selling on there, but people are walking on that field with their beer that they buy in the other areas. So if you don't include
Right.
that on, I don't know if they would have to fence that off but they do still have events on their private events. So they'd either have to fence it off or have more security because,
I'll just.
Agreed. I get the challenge with it. So
Just to end that point, there has been an addition in the program activation from the Titletown side of this. We do adult kickball leagues during the week. They do theater on the grand staircase. So they've added events and programming and activated that space that is not necessarily just directed towards kids. We don't set up alcohol stations down in that portion unless it's tied to an activated program that is adult oriented.
Okay. Okay, understandable? Okay.
Yep.
Jay, you got something else?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, if no other questions, I'll obtain a motion.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Got a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Aye.
carried. Go ahead.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I was for it.
Okay, thanks, Jay.
Item C, got a long one here. Consider discussed act on ordinance number 03-1-24 on an ordinance repelling and recreating section 2-5-123, parathings D1 for Charter 22 utilities. Article 5, sewer service related to amount of user charge, Village of Ashwaubenon Municipal Code.
All
I
right.
think Mr. Bryan has got that one. It sounds like something they'd do to us.
Yeah, that's definitely a mouthful. I'm well aware. So
I know. My tongue is dry.
yeah. As you guys are aware, last month we made a motion to revise or increase our sanitary sewer rates. As I kind of worked towards turning the screws on this item a little bit further, I came across a section in Chapter 22 of our municipal code that was actually outdated. It included a formula that shows how you calculate sewer charges. But in there, it actually had, sewer rates from 2006. So the rates didn't really align with, even though we may have been doing rate increases since 2006, there's a very detailed formula that every time that we should have, that we would have been increasing our rates, that formula should have been modified. So what we're actually looking to do is remove that formal formula that has the actual rates based on your usage and include that in our fee and fine schedule that we'll update generally annually to make sure that that's being looked at and being addressed rather than having a very specific formula in our municipal code, which is kind of, kind of challenging when it comes to, housekeeping to make sure that we're keeping up to speed with making sure that that formula reflects our true rates at that time. So it's nothing really more than a cleanup item. It's not that rates are going to be changing aside from what we had spoken about last month. It's more of just making sure that everything that we have is aligning.
Okay, everybody understand that? Just the way of doing business.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, and I will make a motion then to recommend the approval of ordinance number 3-1-24, an ordinance repealing and recreating section 22-5-1-2-3D1 of chapter 22 utilities article sewer service relating to the amount of user charges, Village of Ashwaubenon Municipal Code, to the village board for consideration.
very good, Jay.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, items for
I
next
just
agenda.
didn't,
Pardon? Items for next
I just
agenda.
didn't want you to read that again.
I know. Items for next agenda, go to staff if anything comes up. If not, we'll obtain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Come on, John, say something. Motion carried. Thank you for enjoying this quick meeting.
This conference is no longer being